Today I messed up by being a hoe, again. Well, this was awkward. My 33-year-old self has given up on finding true love and I'm enjoying the best of the worst of Tinder both in confession and conversation. The city I live in is definitely filled with single women and most of the single guys are just tools who flex and then simp, and meaningful relationships seem like an allergy that a few people disclose from time to time but otherwise isn't even part of the process. In my process, friends with benefits is the term, or maybe it's just fuck buddy, or something even less formal than that, depending on the guy. So it is without shame I must report my latest screw-up resulting from being a hoe. I matched with a guy on Tinder. We waste little time discussing how not into serious relationships we are and how free we are last night after we're done being not free. In retrospect, there's one thing he did that hit my subconscious but at the moment it didn't even surface in my conscious mind, and that was he called me K. My name starts with K, obviously, okay. People called me K in college. Like 10 years ago. It's like once a year somebody calls me K now. So we meet up and it's dark and hot and I'm like, this is terrible, let's get into air conditioning. He offers his apartment and 20 minutes later we're making out. In the middle of being pushed against his wall he says, I've thought about you so many times, I wondered if we would ever meet again. Holy shit. I fucked this guy in college. Twice. I literally felt like everything I knew about life was boiled like heroin and injected into my veins, and I got this insane chill unlike anything I've ever felt before. I stepped back uncontrollably and got a better look at his face and yelled holy shit and covered my mouth while trying to. Why didn't you say anything? And he was like, oh, I thought you. Wait, you don't remember me? I explained that I was crazy and took a sleeping pill the night before and this just did not connect in my brain. I'm a proud hoe if you couldn't tell. But there comes a time in every hoe's life that even they feel like maybe they are too much of a hoe for their own low expectations of themselves, and I think completely forgetting somebody to the point that you don't have any memory of them anymore is one such moment. The consequence of being a forgetful hoe seems to be that we're going to meet up again tomorrow and laugh some more about it. Too long. Didn't read. Met a guy from Tinder who I actually hooked up with in college, but I completely forgot that I ever met him, until he reminded me. Today I messed up by getting stung on the dick by a wasp. So basically what happened was I decided to hop on the hub and do manly things, choking the chicken, and right after my kids entered the open world I went to grab a tissue. I grabbed the tissue to clean up the mess and all of a sudden as I bring the tissue closer towards me, a fucking yellow jacket flies into the tissue and clings right onto the side of my shaft. I felt the sting and sat up and was like, shit, I must have a STD or some shit, until I see a whole ass wasp on my dick. I crushed the wasp as soon as I saw the little fucker and then did the Irish jig around my room in agonizing pain, screaming. About 5 minutes after I checked to see if little Timmy was okay, and damn. My entire right side just below the tip was puffed up and swollen. Thankfully about 12 hours of ibuprofen and suffer and the pain is gone. The swelling has mostly gone down as we speak, but it is still a little messed up. I am honored to say that this is a great memory to hold on to for life. Lol, sent that currency pound too long. Didn't read. My penis got stung by a wasp moments after orgasming on the hub. The pain is a pain I would only wish upon the evil. Today I messed up by misusing a whiteboard for 1.5 years. I bought a whiteboard when I moved into my new and current house. This was supposed to be the ultimate pièce de résistance to my awesome new home office. It took a few months to ship, and when it finally did, I was pretty unhappy with it. First of all, there was this big crack behind it, bending the metal in an unsatisfying way, but it wasn't that noticeable, so I didn't bother sending it back. The worst, though, was that it was near impossible to write on it without leaving ghost marks. And you can forget about letting some writing on it more than 24 hours. As a result, I wound up not using it for most of the last year. Basically, his only purpose was as a magnet holder, when it should have been used for so many different projects. Today, as I finally had some free time, I looked into the process of cleaning my whiteboard and making it more usable. As I applied some store-bought cleaner, I found this small tear in some kind of plastic coating. I freaked out, ripped it all out and came to the horrifying conclusion that I spent 1.5 years writing on plastic. I now have a brand new, unused board that has been sitting in my office. Too long. Didn't read. Bought a whiteboard, forgot to take the plastic layer off and took way too long to figure it out. Today I messed up for letting my boyfriend make breakfast for me. So, my boyfriend is really persistent on what he wants to do during sex. He pressured me into giving him a BJ and tried to pressure me to swallow his cum last week, but I told him no because I have a very sensitive stomach. Anyways, this morning, my boyfriend offered to make me breakfast. I was relieved we were on good terms because just last night we were arguing on if we should do 69 or not, which I didn't want to. After he made the breakfast for about 15 minutes, he brought me some orange juice and toaster strudels, which seemed odd for a 15 minutes breakfast but okay. I went to take a bite of the toaster strudel and realized after swallowing it that it was his own cum. I dropped to my knees and gagged, nearly throwing up. During this, he had the audacity to say, "Now the choice won't be so hard next time."